Yes.
Okay, right. This is another very important session of the orientation program. It is about the career exploration and career guidance. So, today, I am very happy to introduce our resource persons who are going to talk to you about very important information based on the career exploration as well as career guidance. Now, I would like to invite today's our first resource person. He is Mr. Tilina Kurapula, who is a director and solution architect of Cloud Syntax Private Limited Company. He graduated from Sabaragamu University of Sri Lanka with BSc Special Degree in Computer Science and Technology, and he is a Microsoft certified professional. Also, he had been working with Nextech Solutions Australia, WebPartners UK, Navantis IT Canada, and also Virtusa Group. So, without taking much time, now I would like to hand over this session to Mr. Tilina.
Right. Good morning to you all. So I think we got the introduction. Hope everyone is already joined. Right. So in this session, I don't know how to call it, whether the session or the discussion or whatever. So in this session, so my plan is to give you kind of a behind the curtain scenes and what you're going to face, and a couple of stories and all to prepare you in your in your future career. So then after that, I think after half an hour, 45 minutes, we would be able to have a little discussion over whether any kind of queries that you got, and then I would be able to answer it. Right. In this session, so I'm not a very structured speaker. I'm not. I don't have much of the data. I'm not a professional career guidance expert or something. So I'm just a guy who's doing okay in the career and who's doing okay in the market. So I have I wrote couple of points. I think we have in this talk that I'll go through one by one. I have only 8 kind of a topic, the sessions in my speech. Right. So these speech points will be maybe you feel a little bit awkward, but bear with me. Right. So first point is first of all, congratulate to you all. So you're going to start your university career, and we wish you to for your future endeavors and everything. So the first point is you're not entitled and you don't deserve. So it's a little bit awkward. I know that you all selected to university. So we all feel a little bit entitlement. Right. We all feel a little bit entitlement because now you all faced one of the most competitive exams in Sri Lanka, in the world actually. Right. So I think maybe 350,000 students sit for A levels, and only roughly 30,000 will get this Willy Wonka ticket, the Willy Wonka golden ticket, come to public universities. And it's roughly like less than 10%, maybe 9 to 8%. So this so everyone, every one of us, I got that ticket 20, maybe close to 20 years back, in 2003 or 4. So then we also feel a little bit entitlement, right? So we always feel, yes, I deserved it. Right. So everything in the university, what I'm doing, what I'm getting at university, I deserve it. So I it's hard to break it to you. You don't deserve anything, right? You don't entitle. So in this, so that's the first mindset that you need to have, right? So I'm not entitled, I don't deserve, right? So why that is so important? Because now all the education now you guys are getting, So somebody paying for that. There's no thing called the free education. There's no free education. That's a little bit word gimmicks, right? So when I was in the university, somebody has paid for me. Now when you guys are in the university, we pay for you guys. So, but what you have obligation to perform. So that's the first mindset. It means you don't deserve, you're not entitled, but you have obligation to perform because you are getting this Willy Wonka ticket, the golden ticket, right? So the less than 9%, right? It means the 100 students sit for the exam, sit for an A level, right? Only 8 will get this ticket. Now, when you consider about the O levels, it's like over 500,000, right? Now think about that, right? So, then because of the highly competitive nature, that we said, okay, so you guys are the cream of the society when it's come to this. So it's better, that we pay for you guys to perform. So you have obligation to perform, to learn, to make yourself out of a professional, right? So conduct yourself, the discipline and everything. You have obligation, right? Not the entitlement, not the sense of entitlement, not the sense of I deserve things, right? So so that's the first point. The second point is a basic or flashes, right? So what I mean of that is that, so all of these points will connect the end of end of the session. Then you will understand what type of pushes that these things will give you, your future careers, so your future conducts. So basic core flashes. So this is a very important point. So when you come to the university, so you face you guys are in the school system, then you selected to the university. Now we always think, right, now I'm going to learn advanced stuff, right? I need advanced stuff. I'm not kind of a school kid. I don't need basic. So, but the most important thing is basic, right? So I have seen, the many people come to, face interviews. I have been conducting numerous kind of interviews and all. So when I ask, so in the interview, a lot of people are talking about. So I'm in IT. So maybe my speech is a little bit tend to IT side, right? So I saw a lot of people are talking about the machine learning, the AI, the advanced Pythons, the web services, the Cobras, and here and there, all the flashy words, right? But when it's come to the basic, that's where actually you fail, right? I think maybe this is a kind of a general idea for all the subject. I know the food science and the natural resources and all the guys. So we are always chasing flashes. We are always chasing what is new, what is hot, right? So rather than what is basic. So let me give you a one good example, right? So in the interview, so let me search this word, right? So in the in object or in the programming language, in the object orientation, the very basic in the programming, there's a concept called the encapsulations, right? So so when I always ask students what is encapsulation, they always said encapsulation is the way of restricting direct access to some component of an object. The users cannot access state value for all the variables of the particular object encapsulation, blah 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 blah. So they always when I ask this question, whether it's encapsulation, abstraction, whatever this theoretical, very basic level question of that you are going to learn in the maybe year 1, right? Year 2, not in the 4th year or 3rd year, 1st year, 2nd year, the subjects, right? So they always, put this the Mako parrot hat and say, oh, all right, encapsulation is blah 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 blah. So they giving me the textbook definition of it, right? So, but when I said, right, so imagine now, can you explain me the encapsulation? Taking a real world example where the 6-year-old kid can understand. Then they always struggle, right? So when I say, no, look at, so if someone asks me to, explain the same concept to you all, no computer students, no one. So I would explain something like this. Encapsulation is a very basic thing. So if you use laptops, you have encapsulation. You go, you get into the car and you start the car, there's encapsulation, right? So it's very basic because the encapsulation is hide very complex kind of a mechanism, right? And give a very simple interface to the user. So that's the encapsulation. If you get into the car, when you start the car, when you turn your key on, right? So always there is the ignition, there are fuel pumps pumping the fuel, right? The electric system, pumped up, right? The piston get all the fuels, then piston get expanded, then the fuel get evaporated, right? So all these complex scenarios you don't see, you don't think about it, right? All you know, put your key into the keyhole and turn it up, right? Then it will start. Then you have very basic through 2 or 3 pedals based on whether it's automatic or manual, right? And you have one steering wheel. That's it. You don't think about how these wheels are turning and how these numerous kind of wheels inside the little wheels and everything. That, and you don't think about it. So that's the encapsulation, right? But when you type something in the keyboard, when you press a key, there's a hundreds of processes being executed in order just to show you when you type A in your monitor. But that's all being hide, right? And you are giving a very simple interface for users that allows others to elaborate more and develop the technology, and that's another topic. So but the thing is, if you knew the basic, if these people knew the basic of that, so they could have explain it, right? To what is that concept where the 6-year-old kid understand. So that's the other thing. Always choose basics over flashes. Let me give you a good example. So I don't know whether I know here in Sri Lanka the cricket is the important game, but I couldn't find any example cricket. So when it's come to the basketball, I think you may heard about the player called Kobe Bryant, right? So I think he was a player. He died tragically in an accident. So there's a story that there is a reporter. You can find in the YouTube. There is a story with a reporter. So he just went to see a practice of Kobe Bryant, this person's practice, right? So at that time he was the best player in the world. So he said that I went there in the 4 o'clock and I saw the practice, and I cannot believe myself. That guy was so focused, laser focused and everything, but he's doing all these basketball drills like a practices, and he's using a very basic moves where where we teach our school kids who's come to the basketball. We teach those moves to those school kids. So very basic type of a moves. He's doing this hours and hours and hours and hours. There's no flashy stuff. There's no high flash dunks and nothing. Very basic footwork, very fundamental footwork, but he's a very laser focused. Then after these sessions, that he got a chance and he asked Kobe, and he said, Kobe, you are the best player in the world, right? So I saw your practice. Those are very basic moves, very fundamental moves. Then he laughed and said, why do you think that I am the best player in the world? Because I never get bored with basics, right? So that's the other thing, right? So that's the most important thing. It doesn't matter whether you are in the food science, whether you are in the natural NR, whether you are in the computer chemistry, physics, doesn't matter, right? You should not get bored with basics, right? You will understand it when it's come to the moment you pass out from the university, say you enter to the job market, your career life and all. So when you go to all these interviews, right, you are always thinking, okay, they will ask these type of very complex kind of a things, and that I'm going to answer, I'm going to show them. That's why the people always throw these words like AI, machine learning, and here and there to impress us. No, but we are asking very basic questions. Why? It doesn't matter whether your house has all the glamorous walls and the flashy paintings and everything. If the foundation is cracked, right? If the foundation is not to that level, there's no place to grow, right? There's no place that structure is stable. So that's the other thing, right? So always think about the basics, right? The other thing is knowing, understanding, and realizing. Right? That's the other part. So now you know the basics and everything. The other thing is, every time when you conduct every practical you do, every subject you learn, so always there's a three part. This is by experience, right? So there's a part where the knowing, there's a part where the understanding, there's a part where the realizing. I see a lot of people, they know a lot of things, right? A lot of guys, girls, they know a lot of things, and out of them, many of them, right? Out of those, many of them understand a lot of things. They understand a lot of things. They have not realized it. What I mean by that, any subject, any type of a thing, the realizing part is the hardest part. So let me give you one example. Now imagine now you are riding a bicycle or something, right? So you are riding. So when you're riding your bicycle, there's a three parts, right? So first you see the bicycle and okay, there is a bicycle that I can ride it. So that's the knowing part. So all the parts, you know the handle, the pedals, and the seats and the brakes, and also so that's the unscattered information. You know that, right? So you know that. So you have research, and so now you start to practice it, right? So when you start to practice it, you start to understand it, right? You knew, okay, this is how I should keep my hands on, this is how that I should keep my balance on when I paddle, that I know that the legs, the pressure should be the equal, or the front pressure should be slightly high or something like that. So these things, right? Imagine your dad or someone help you, but still you can write it, but you know now these things and you understand it. But when you write it, you always try to balance yourself, and you always cautious about what's happened next. So that's why you are a little bit wobbly and all, right? You are a little bit wobbly, but you go, you put your feet down, and you try to stable yourself, and without hurting yourself, and you always do that. It doesn't matter if it's a bike or the car or whatever it is. That's the understanding of that. You're understanding the process. But now imagine the people who ride bicycles. The people can ride bicycles while talking to someone else, right? By talking to your phone or something like that. Sometimes the people who are riding the bicycle, they just ride it, right? If you actually you are capable of riding a bicycle, you don't always think, okay, that I should keep my hands on something like this, and this is how I should balance, and you don't think of that thing. So that's the part which I call the realizing, right? So what we call the enlightenment, or whatever these things, in any subject area, you just do without always thinking of that. It means you completely understand, you realize that. So that's the part that you always should go to, right? rather than, learn by heart, put your Mako hats and all. So that's the part that you need to always, focus on, right? So once you become that state, everything will become very easy, right? So that is there, the understanding, the knowing, understanding, and reading. And the other thing is, now when you're in the classrooms, when you're in the lecture halls, and one of all the best professors, best doctors, best lectures, they can carry you maximum to the point where you can understand things. They cannot make you realizing things. So that's the other thing that you should understand, right? I was in the university, sometimes in some subject areas, I only understand it, right? So then I thought, it's lecture's fault, right? So still I'm struggling with this. It's not lecture's fault. That's the maximum they can carry you. They can show you where you become a knowing state, then they can make you understand it. That's it. That's what this within these 4 walls of lecture hall, that's the best they can do, right? So they cannot make you realize it. So that's the thing. That needs a laser type of a focus, and the commitment, consistency, and everything. Now imagine the riding a bike. You have to have a commitment. You have to have taking a risk, and you have to being consistent. And every day you should practice it. Then you become right. Okay, right. I can ride a bicycle. Imagine going to a learners and learn to drive a car. Right, same thing. Right, you can't just go to the learners first day and again come after 3 months or something like that and say, why still I cannot drive, right? Why still I need to think of which foot is the on the clutch, or which foot on the brake, right? So that's the thing. So that's the other thing: knowing, understanding, and realizing. So the other point is be responsible, right? So the lot of time that because of that sense of entitlement, because of the sense of deserving things, and because of lack of basics and realizing and these things, then we always lack of responsibilities, right? You have to have a responsible, be responsible, and always think the plan B is always optional. Right? The people always say, okay, you have to have your plan A and plan B. Yes, but guess what? That's why it's called plan B. It's always optional, right? So let me give you one example. Being a responsible. So when I was working in Total Amber, so back in this is back in 2015, 2015 or 2016, right? So it's not a good example in Sabaragamu. So I was contacted and asked whether we have internship opportunities and all. So then I said, yes, we do have some openings, and it's for my team. So so just send me some CVs and all. So we got some CVs, and we selected maybe 5 or 6 CVs, and put it in the interview process. And on the interview day, that not only the Sabaragamu, the Pera, then Colombo, Slate, IIT, ACBT, a lot of CVs are there. So then I didn't conduct any interview. So one of my the tech leads, they conduct those interviews, and I was an architect. I was in a senior tech lead on that time. So some senior engineers conducted those interviews. So then at the end of the day, I got all these the students who went through the first interview, passed through the first interview. Then I was like, okay, I sent like 4 or 5 names, Then I called HR and said, okay, I sent 4 or 5 names, but I didn't see them. So then they said, only 2 of them showed up. There's 3 of them didn't show up. Then I was like, what's happened? So I said, did you inform them? I said, yeah. We informed them like a week before, and but they didn't show up. So I said, okay, any of them answer the phone? Yes. There's a one guy who answered the phone. Then I said, okay, what he said. And that's the moment that I thought, sometimes how irresponsible we are, and sometimes how it will cost us. There is a one guy, when they called him, he said, I'm sorry, I would not be able to, come to an interview today because I need to attend for a big girl party, one of my cousins. Now I was like shocked. Now think about this. This is like one of the turning point in your life, and you are just let it go because of your cousins, little girls, big girl party. Now think of that, how irresponsible you are. Why is that? Because in that person's mind, he thinks, no worries. Yeah, I may miss this, but I may get another chance from another company. That is a bad attitude to have, right? If you give your word should be your trademark, right? If you promise something, you should do it. It doesn't matter what is the situation. Right? You should at least give you 100%. Let me give you one example in my life. So in the Virtusa, I joined to the Virtusa, but I did the internship in Virtusa. In the Virtusa interview, they didn't call me like a week before, right? They called me like the day before that interview scheduled. Then they said, okay, hi, Mr. Thina. Yes, I said yes. So tomorrow at 11 o'clock, you have interview. I think I may have in university or something. That's it. So it's less than 24 hours. I faced the interview, I passed the interview. I think only 3 of us got selected in that batch. We passed the interview, and within 6 months, I got the job. When I got the job, I didn't have a degree actually. I got the degree in I think back in 2010, but in 2009 I joined Virtusa. Right, so I didn't have a degree, but the thing is that everyone in my who is in the team who recommended me. So that's the sense of the responsibility. So that's one thing. So don't miss your interviews and these things because of these bigger parties, right? So that's one of the examples, right? The other thing is that be like water, right? We always everyone likes to box ourselves. So let me give you an example. So imagine now I have seen all these IT people who are in the universities. They said, I'm a Java guy. I'm a PHP guy. In the food science, maybe he said, I just go to the meat industry. That's my thing. Just go to the beverage industry. That's my thing. Right in NR, so you may say, okay, right, geology. That's my thing. I don't care about biodiversity and all. So maybe I'm misquoting all these subjects and all. But the thing is now, you always need to open your mind rather than what you already have and amplify. Always take the opportunities. Now, for example, I'll give you an example from out of my life. So I think maybe you may have Dr. Hasinta somewhere in this call. So so he's my batchmate. We're in the same batch. He may know these things. So I'm a Java guy. So I'm I like Java language. So I did all the Java and Java stuff, and I passed the Sun certification while I was in the university. Those days it was so hard to pass Sun certification. So I passed the Sun certification and I got my Sun certification, and I'm a Java guy. I don't care about the Microsoft, and I'm a solely Java guy. So I just want to find a pursue my career in Java field. So I went to the Virtusa, and I faced the interview in Java, and I passed out, and everything is okay. Everything is cool. Then there's a very different career handlers and also in Virtusa. So in the, I think, digital reach section. So one of the guys came and said, "Okay, still you passed, and there's a little unfortunate thing that we don't have any Java projects. For you to assign you, right? We don't have any Java projects at that moment because all the projects filled with all the other the resources and all, so we don't have. But we do have Microsoft projects. That's like a 360. Right? We do have Microsoft projects. So you have two options. One is that you can go to these Microsoft projects, and one is go to the bench and do some self-learning, and we'll let you know if the Java projects comes along, then you can enroll in them. So without a blink, I said, no, I'll take Microsoft. I'll take that opportunity. I said it without blink, right? So at that time, I invested my life like a good couple of years for the Java, and I do some certification, and I know these expenses and everything will not be valid maybe at one point as a qualification. But I said no, I'll do that. I'll do that. I went to that project, and I would talk to the guys. At the first time when they show me the code, and then put me Visual Studio or something like this, and said, okay, that's a programming tool, Visual Studio. Then I cannot, I don't know how to run this project. I mean, that I know in the Java, NetBeans, and Eclipse and all, but I don't know. I never use Visual Studio at that time. And there's a mentor called Sanjeev Vijayasekara. He's a kind of a chubby guy, very gentle giant, right? Very cool guy. Then I said, excuse me, Sanjeev, how to run this project? He would just give me this look, and just put my mouse on and get to the play button and click it. So that's the first step, right? Then after that, then I said, okay, Sanjeev, I don't know, I know nothing about this language. My Java. He said, oh, yeah, cool. I also, and I said, oh, wow. So how? Okay, this is how you are going to learn. So you just get a paper and get a pen and write down some books. Because remember those days, there was no bunch of resources in the online. There's no flashy YouTube videos where all the Indian guys are, teaching you all the programming and here and there. There's no, right? So get these books, go to the PETA, go to the bookshop called Explographic, and get these books, and teach yourself, right? I got these books like a Bibles, and these big books, and within 2 to 3 weeks, it was kind of a hell, right? I always went to do my internship. I've been in the Virtusa like a night 10 p.m., 11 p.m., 12 p.m., right? And I just just try to learn this thing, right? Because it's a self-taught thing. Then I pursue my career in the Microsoft path. Then I changed my job into the Navanthus. It's a Canadian company. At that time, I was a kind of expert in WCF, the web services, and that area. So I had a blog also on that. So then I pursued my career into the Navanthus as a web service engineer or someone, because they had some openings. So when I joined there, unfortunately, that project was flushed, right? So then they said, okay, there is no web services project, but there's a new technology called the SharePoint. Would you mind? Would you give a shot? Otherwise, you have to be like ideal. So I knew that ideal position is not good, because then you can't demand or you can't pursue your career. So then that's how I came to this SharePoint thing. Then the SharePoint thing, when the new technology comes in power, so I jump into this. So be water. Be always be like a water. So that's the other thing. So the next point is become a trademark, right? So all your works, all the things you do, right, should be a trademark to yourself. So what I mean by that, I'll give you one example. This is a good story in my Virtusa time. I learned a lot in my Virtusa time because, you know, I was a fresher. And so the story goes that we did some components to a project and some HTTP handlers and, you know, some technical things. And we have a review thing. It means that a senior architect or someone reviewed it, right? So he reviewed the code and everything. So then one day, you know, he asked me, you know, hi, Tilna, sit next to me, and he reviewed my code. He was reviewing my code. So at that time he said, yeah, your code is okay, but it's not aesthetic, it's not beautiful, or it's not aligned, or something like this, he said. But I was just, you know, like a little bit being a little bit a loudmouth. I said, his name is Johan Simmons. So Johan Simmons is a nice guy, you know. At that time I was an associate engineer. So this guy is an I think maybe associate architect, one rank upper to a senior lead. So he said, oh, then I said, but it's working, right? So I just, you know, throw this word, it's working, right? It doesn't matter because it's working. No client is going to, you know, go to the codes and view it, right? Because if something works, that works. I said, it's working. Then he said, okay, let me tell you a story, right? Then he told me a story that actually they changed a lot of things that, you know, I conduct myself after that. He said, this is a broken window theory. He said there are some couple of scientists who got a very expensive Ferrari and parked near street of Chicago in US. You know, imagine Chicago means a little bit a rough area, thuggery area, right? He parked that car. They put some cameras, you know, hidden cameras, and they observe it. This Ferrari was so nice, you know, flashy, everything so shiny. A brand new Ferrari is parked parked on the side of the road, and they just leave it there. Nobody's there. You just had all the hidden cameras. They just observe it. Said like a day goes by, 2 days goes by, right? Nothing happened, right? Then they just review all these recordings. They see all these people, you know, go near the car and look at the car and take some pictures from their old cameras and, you know, everything. They saw that, but nobody touches it. Nobody touches it, right? So everyone, you know, looked around and do a gentle touch here and there, but nobody is scratchy toe. Nobody trying to do anything with the car. Then in one middle of the night, and I think after middle of the night, then they park the same kind of different street or the same street. Then they just give a little crack to the side window, little crack, very little crack to the side window. Imagine within 24 hours, the car is gone. Then they review all the recordings. Then they figure it out. Oh, the people saw the crack. Then people, you know, okay, nobody's there. Then they start, you know, taking off all these wheels and everything. You know, it's basically the car is gone within 24 hours. That crack window. Then he said, Tilena, your code is that. Imagine you have a working code, but it's so perfect. It's very aesthetic. It's beautiful, right? So then imagine the people who are doing the code on top of your code file, the next person, even though how messy that person is, he always try to follow your guideline. Right? Imagine now you have a very messy code. And even a person who's come, to court next to you in the same court file, even though he's a very, clean cut, very, very disciplined person, he never follows any of these good practices because your code is already messy. So that's a very important lesson. Whatever you do, you have to do it in a very clear manner. That will pay you back. It means, and sometimes when I do some works and when I do some wireframes and all, so when people see some of my wireframes or something like this, still in the architectural wireframes and all, in industry, sometimes they said, Macha, we got one of your wireframes, because you don't need to mention your name. Everything you do, you have a trademark of that, right? So that's the other thing, right? The next thing is keep your boxes clean, right? Keep your boxes clean. So what I mean of that, so when you're perceiving your careers, you have to think of your boxes, especially when it's come to your digital footprint, right? So I have seen, so if you do not have a LinkedIn profile or something like that, go create one, the professional LinkedIn profile, right? And maintain it in a very professional manner. So I have seen the people that join the LinkedIn, which is a very professional network. When you send us a CV, now all the companies go to the LinkedIn and check your LinkedIn profile. That's the first thing. They don't go to your TikToks, they don't go to your Instagram, they don't go to your Facebook, but they will go to your LinkedIn. So I have seen people who are maintaining the LinkedIn, sometimes they put all these Preeti Vesak post, right? Preeti Vesak post, Korean drama posters, girls are sharing love stories in the LinkedIn, and guys are trying to flirt with girls in the LinkedIn. Now that's how unclean your boxes are. When you go to my Facebook and LinkedIn, there's a two word, right? In the Facebook, I do all my views and social views or political views, whatever these things are in Facebook, not in the LinkedIn. Keep your professional boxes are very clean. Always conduct that thing, right? So keep those things very clean. So keep your boxes clean. That's right. So all your relationships in the universities, with the lectures, with your peers and everything, you should keep it very clean, right? So that's because that will pay you back when you're pursuing your careers after the university. And the last point, I think now we are at 9:50, so I just hurry some points. The last point is proud what you achieved, not what you given. That's the last point, right? So I've seen a lot of people in Sri Lanka and universities and by generally, they're proud of the things that they are given, not the things that you achieve. You can proudly say, okay, I'm proud to be in this university. You achieved it. Like 350,000 people, who sit next, A levels, only 30,000 may get the chance, and you are one of them. So you achieved it. You can be proud of that, right? Don't proud to be like proud to be Sinhalese, proud to be Muslim, proud to be Burger, proud to be Buddhist. Those are given. You are given, right? So the moment you start to proud of things that you are given, you are losing the grip of this race. You are losing it, right? You should be proud things that you achieved. That's why you are not entitled. You are not deserved. You have an obligation. You conduct yourself, learn the basic core flashes, and knowing the basics, always laser focus on the basics, know the fundamentals. With the fundamentals, you can achieve those experts levels and all. And be always responsible, conduct yourself professional, clean your boxes, right? And then you will achieve things and you can be proud of those things. Okay, thank you very much. I think that's it. It's 9:50. So I think we may have 5 to 10 minutes to discuss anything. I'm sorry that I didn't give you any, how to face an interview, what are the current trend in the market and all. Okay, the last point, the very last point, what I didn't tell you, the current trend in the market and so on and so forth, it doesn't matter. So if I say, okay, the current trend is this language or the Python or whatever these things in the food science, these are the current trend, it's no use. The time you get pass out, those trends will not be there. Those cultures will not be there. Now imagine the cultures before 2020 or 2019, we all worked in the office environment. Now the predominantly like a 70 to 80% of workforce sometimes work in home, at least when consider about the IT, right? So trends are changing. Everything's a lot of these things are changing. So I didn't talk about the things that change, right? What I tell you, the basic things, because it's not because at the end of the day, when you pass out, it's not what you learn, it's not what you didn't learn. It's what you didn't learn that matters, right? So whatever you do, so if you follow this path, I hope that you'll be successful in your career and in your entrepreneur journey, or following the dream path. And thank you very much. And I would like to thank Dr. Hasinta also that he contact me as deliver his speech or this session. Thank you very much, Doctor. And yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you so much, Tirena. It's always pleasure. You are engaging with our students, young academics coming to the faculty. Actually, yesterday I gave you the call in the very last minute. I know you will be there definitely. So I was very sure about it because you explained that things, how we face such situations. So I know how you manage well all these situations at the university as my batchmate. So still you and I are having a really good relationship. And always when I was in a trouble or this kind of situation, I always talk with you and you definitely support it. I really appreciate it. And your thoughts are really valuable. Without taking much time from my end, I give this opportunity to our students to ask questions they have. Thank you so much again, Tirena. I really appreciate it.
Sure.
Dear students, if you have any question, you can ask from Mr. Tim.
It doesn't matter, right? Any language, not any language, I mean, English or Sinhala, right?
Dear students, please be quick because Tirena is about to leave because he has a meeting, scheduled meeting. So please take this chance. Don't be quiet. Please ask. Go ahead.
It seems no more questions. Thank you
No,
very much.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So imagine I was in your age, so I may I may act the same. That's totally fine. And you do have any queries, just let your lecturers or your cousins to know. They may pass this message to me. Then we'll see. Okay. What is the course you did in the university? Right. So the in the university, I'm in the physical science. I was in physical science, and I did computer science and information technology special degree. So if that's what you ask, and apart from that, in the university, I did only one course. That's my Sun certification, like I said, in the Java. But now I just had only the very old Java certificate, that identity. That's it. How to select a path in the cyber section. So if you're in a first year, if you're in a year one student, don't select any path, because the things are a bit bigger than what you think. So it's always you learn the basics, like I said. So imagine now you are going to choose a path in network or something like that in computer, in cyber, whatever. So then so people are like, okay, I'm going to network, I don't need any programming stuff. No, that's not how it works, right? So even though there are many participants that when it comes to the computer, this IT field, there are business analysts are there, and the quality assurance and lot of things. But the thing is, you always open your mind and you always learn the basics. So that's what you are lack of, not about other things. I see a lot of people, I'm going to the hacking things because I saw some movies and I do hackings. No, that's not how it works. I've been working with professional hackers, so white hat hackers. So they're professionally hired, but that's not what you see in the movies. So don't think these things. Always learn the basic and learn the logics and these things. Some people are thinking, okay, I'm doing these things. I don't need mathematics or the logics and all. No, the dots will connect, right? The dot will connect, and the other most important thing is try to be a storyteller. Because if you are the English is really important. The other thing is that I see a lot of people are coming, and they face very hard time to manage their language, because the English is not our mother tongue, so that's given. So but the thing is that I see some people are saying it doesn't matter in the interview if you don't know the English, face it in Sinhala. No, learn the English, right? So that's why the most important thing is that the removing the sense of entitlement. If you're facing an interview, if you work with the clients are most probably, especially in the IT field, all the clients are, I mean, in my almost all the clients, none of them are in Sri Lanka. Almost all are from the Denmark, the Sweden, the US, UK. No, they don't know Sinhala, right? So that's why all the communications and emails and everything happen in English, right? And don't take those bad examples. And some people say, oh no, we are too proud to be using our language because Japanese are using our language. No, you're talking about one of the largest economies in the world, Japan, and compared to Sri Lanka, the German, Japan, those are production giants. Those are production hubs. They can conduct whatever the language they want. We are not. We are service providers. You always know what your place is. If you can't speak English or not, learn that skill while you're in university. Learn it and practice it. Use it as a tool. Don't think that the world should revolve around you. You should go with the market trend. World is not catered to you. You are going to cater to the world. So that's the other important part. So do extra qualification in IT field, especially not necessary. So a lot of interviews now, we don't see these certificates, these certificate files. We are not looking into these certificates because almost it's important. It's important. I'm not saying that all the qualification will add up, right? All the certification and those things will add up. But the thing is now, when you face an interview and when you go to the career path, the people who are interviewed you, the people who are working with you, they know whether you have just a paper as a qualification or you actually qualify. Right? I have seen many people who doesn't have any paper qualification but superb, right? So they will go through any kind of an interview or they will get any kind of a job without a blink, without any qualification. So that's the thing. that's the thing of focus, the laser focus of, you have to qualify yourself rather than the papers. And got a degree to apply job in IT companies, such as, yes. There are some situation, no, words and code in, but so you will see the importance of degree. There are a lot of people, especially all the lot of motivation Apaches are in the YouTube. I don't need to look at Mark Zuckerberg, look at Elon Musk, you look at Bill Gates. They didn't have a degree. They are dropout. You are not Mark Zuckerberg. You are not Bill Gates. You are just a guy who is in a third world country and get this Willy Wonka ticket and try to pursue your career. You are not them, right? That's a one in 100 million chance, right? That, especially when you see, and a lot of those people came from a privileged family. Don't think that Mark Zuckerberg is a poor guy. Elon Musk is a poor guy. No, Elon Musk's father has an emerald mine, right? So they are not a poor guys. They came from a very privileged background, right? So yes, the degree will serve you. The degree will show to the job market and the market that you had a discipline to conduct something for 4 years, 3 to 4 years. That's what it's going to give the first sense of that you are a finisher, right? So so imagine you are a dropout or something like that. Yeah, maybe you are a very exceptional case. Don't think that you are a very special case. That's I again come to my first point. You are not entitled. That's the thing. Thank you. Thank you. And better in IT. What is the better part in IT we can study? Right. It depends. So I could say the predominantly technical jobs are better, but sometimes when the job which you don't need in programming skills, so the things like a BA, business analysis, they earn a lot, right? So, but the thing is that it's not easy. It's not about speaking English. It's about the storytelling. It's about the understanding the client's mindset and this kind of a thing. So so better part in IT field, I cannot say this language and these are the things. Like I said, after these 4 years, we may have a completely different IT field. Now those days the codes are predominantly that's the way to go. Now there's a concept called the low code, right? So I mean the Power Apps is a low code platform, very easy language. But the thing is now then they say, okay, everyone can do that. But we have a very few Power Apps resources here in Sri Lanka. You know why? Because it's not about the code. It's about this. It's about the thinking of how to design a system and how to understand the client's requirement, how to give the better solution and those things. So it's like that's a difference between your dispensary doctor and your specialist, right? So you go and tell the same symptoms to both doctors, they may treat you differently. That's why the one taking maybe 10,000, 15,000 per 3 minutes of session and one taking 500. That's the difference. Foreign country before completing the you can apply scholarship in a foreign country. So I would say, what is the motive? So everyone is so motivated to go to the foreign countries. They always, my future is in the. You've never been to the foreign country. That's the thing, right? It's not that sunshine and rainbow and all. That's not that, right? Maybe Dr. Hasinth also can wow for that, right? That life was tough. Here actually you can you always try to get maximum out of the things that you are given. You are given a Willy Wonka ticket and you are thinking of applying to a different chocolate factory. That's not the way. So always get maximum. There's nothing wrong with the Sri Lanka education. I mean that a lot to remake and restructure. But the thing is, still Sri Lanka degree is a powerful kind of thing, right? It's valid in most of countries. When you're applying for, I mean, in the near future, when you're applying for your skill migration, you are given a pretty good mark for your degrees and masters and all. What are the job scope in the food science and technology? I'm not expert in food science and technology. I may ask from my wife. So she's from food science and technology. I'm really sorry that I don't know what is the current trend. I'll ask her and I'll pass the message.
Tirana, I want students to talk. So rather, chatting all the things in the chat box.
Yes, that's
Why
the.
you guys don't talk?
I'll be like a 5 minutes because I need to switch at least 10-15. I will give you by 5 to 7 minutes. Yeah, talk, because in the interview you are not going to face the interview where you have a laptop with a chat box with the interviewer. You have to present yourself, and if you're going to speak, try to switch on your camera. That's one other thing. A lot of interviews are conducting in online. Whoever, when I interview someone, whoever who didn't show up their face in the interview with the camera, doesn't matter how good you are, I'm not going to select you. So that's one thing, because it shows me, because when you talk and your camera is on, that shows me the respect that the interviewer deserved and the company deserved, and that shows me your personality. Is there a massive competition in IT field? Yes, of course. There's a massive competition. That's why I said you should remove the sense of entitlement and deserve things. It's a competition. It's always been a competition. I imagine that in Sri Lanka, in the school system, you have over 4.5 million students. But here you are among 30,000, right? Yeah. And one last point, I see a lot of trend in among very young people. So after the university, I'm not going to work for anyone else. I'm going to start my own company and become a next Bill Gates to conducting having a company is a hard thing. And first, before you become Usain Bolt, at least you should know how to walk and jog and run, right? So that's the other thing that I need to tell. So I'm just giving a very reality check. I'm not here to say, yes, you can, we always can do that. No, that's why I start my speech like you are not entitled. Is there a message? Guys, I can be here another 2 to 3 minutes only.
Sir,
Yes.
so what is the highly demanded job role in IT field?
Right. Like I said, it depends. The programming always has a high demand because Sri Lanka is predominantly like offshore service providers, and we are a little bit we are good in especially when it comes to mathematical skills and logics and all. So there's a high demand, but it's about what your skill sets are, because there are the programming side of it, the developers, software engineers, and there's a QA side of it, the quality assurance engineers, release engineers, automation experts, And these type of things, which involves a little bit less code, but different type of strategies and the analytical skills and all. And there are business analysis. If you're good in English, and if you're good in writing, and if you're good in especially communication, where you are very strong in communication, there's a big demand there. And the network jobs always have a high demand. And yeah, that's it. But rather than the trends will always change. So those are very vague picture that I draw. The thing is that the trends will be changed, but the thing is that so program language may change. Like sometimes in some cases Python may hot, some cases some other language may C# or whatever these things, Ruby, and so on and so forth. You can say a lot of program languages are coming, right? But the thing is the concepts and the basics and the fundamentals always be there, right? So if you master that thing, you can master anything.
Thank you, sir.
Uh, 1 minute. And the next thing is that so in 1 minute, I don't want to waste this time. So one thing, now people are always focused on education and these things, and the other skills are pretty much very important when it's because when I've been in the university, I think we did dancing, we did street dramas, and I did some unions, and these things. These are really important because in the virtual side, there are a couple of interns in our projects, but I may get a little bit highlighted because of my drawing skill. I can a little bit draw because I did posters and all. I can a little bit draw. So in the Christmas time, I draw nice reindeers and Santa and all the highly decorated things, and everyone get appreciated. So that put me into a little bit spotlight, right? So sometimes those skills will get you in distances. And the other thing is that always I see a lot of people in the universities, they just go to the lectures, and they always try to during the weekend they just flee to their home, and and do some extra learning things and all. So rather than just be with your team, because it's not a sprint, it's not a kind of a sprint kind of a thing, it's not an individual race, it's always been a team. So I see a lot of people, they are really good in paper qualification, really good in all these other the base skills and all, but the no project will take them in because the lack of ability for them to conduct themselves within a team, because they are individual players. So that's a massive thing. So people can show me like get hundreds of thousands of certificates, papers, and everything, but if you're not a good team player, it's a huge risk for me to hire you or take you in, because I'll jeopardize my whole team, the performance of whole team. So before become a successful person or individual or something like you should know how to conduct yourself among peers, among team members, and how to keep connection with them, and that's also important.
Dear student, I should make a correction. Tiruna did not do some union activities. He was the president of the faculty union. And I was the secretary that time.
Yes.
And he was a giant force behind all of the success. You can appear at Medical Lawyer, one of main, decision maker at that time. You see now how he, developed his career. Okay, so that is a small correction.
Yeah. So Jacinta, I think
you okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Tirina, it was a really nice talk, and I think definitely students gathered a lot of valuable points. Although they didn't talk, they are just like that. They don't like to talk much, but that should be avoided. But anyway, we'll see how they develop in the future. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
So much. Yeah.
Take care. Bye.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Tilna, for accepting our invitation as well as today's participation with your busy schedule.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Next, I would like to invite today's our second resource person, Dr. Hasinta Wijesekara. He is currently working as a senior lecturer in Sabaragamu University of Sri Lanka, and also he is a former faculty coordinator of the Career Guidance Unit of Faculty of Applied Sciences. So, without taking much time, I would like to invite Dr. Hasinta Wijesekara. Sir, over to you.
Okay, let me give a second to open my presentation. Can you see my screen now?
Sir, we can see the desktop.
Okay, you can see the desktop.
Now,
Can you
okay.
see? Okay, good. Okay, firstly, I thank Chantika Madam for inviting me to deliver this talk. This is my topic. Actually, I have some slides to share with you. So, career planning, building your success story at Sabaragamu University. Okay, we'll start my video. Okay, good. Yeah. So, as you know, I did my BSc first degree, BSc special degree in environmental sciences and natural resource management at Department of Natural Resources, and then I did my MPhil degree at Peradeniya University, and then I did my PhD at Newcastle University, that is in environmental remediation. And when I was studying, when I was studying my BSc, I did a diploma course because I really like this subject area, human rights, which was very useful in many ways in my career. So it gave me a really good, strength in my career success. So I highlight this point, and some of my senior members at the university also, they highlight, oh, you have a diploma in human rights. Okay, so this means you actually, when you are studying, you should, I think, not should actually, you try your best to gain some extra qualifications. It could be a certificate course, it could be a different maybe aesthetic activity related to course, or it could be an online course. So many different resources available around you. Please try to understand or try to add different values, different skills into your personal profile. That is my message from the first slide. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Here, wait. I'm in a new computer, so I'm a little bit I'm not that much confident in front of this. Okay, anyway, this is the content, background, and what is career planning a little bit, and major components of career planning, and university level support you have, and then faculty level support, and I will show you some highlights of the virtual career fair we held in 2021, and then a small Q&A session. Okay, so so Tirina, he highlighted the value you have already. Okay, you faced a really competitive examination and you went through it, and then you are here in the university. Okay, so here I will short my speech because I have to attend the convocation today. So here, my key message is, I have a lot of things to say you, but I will tell like this. So you were in schools, okay? You did a lot of activities. You were in a lot of clubs and societies, and you performed in many ways, maybe dancing, maybe you were in chemistry lab, biology lab, and then you studied well. That's why you are here actually. Anyway, my point here is you are about to start, you started your university degree, you should go beyond your school time. Okay, you have to gain a really good or significant achievements or significant knowledge or really good knowledge in your universities, because universities, in your university you have plenty of opportunities to gain something and gain and shape your career. Okay, so there are a lot of opportunities. You should utilize this time. You will spend here maybe 3 years. Most of you will spend 4 years time here. Okay, there are a number of opportunities. You should utilize it. You are in a safe place. You are in a really good place. There are so many opportunities. You should engage with them. Okay, you should engage such activities, and you should develop your career. Okay, so you are fortunate students, and try your best to develop your careers. We are here, your teachers, and Tirana, like resource person, eminent alumni members are here around you to guide you to reach your next destination. Okay, you pass the destination in your schooling, and then now you entered to university, and now we have to you have a responsibility, as Linda mentioned, to develop your careers. Okay, so we are here to help you. Okay, so I will talk about a little bit about professional degrees and academic degrees. Some of you will do professional degrees. Okay, the professional degrees, I do not want to define these things, but some architecture or engineering or medicine, that they are actually designed to build people to do some specific task. The practical component would be immense or really the practical component is very large, and they are called professional degrees. Okay, and academic degrees, you will be learning different theories and subject knowledge, or you will do some lot of coursework. Okay, so finally, the message here is actually some of you will do professional degrees and some of you will do some academic degrees. Okay, so there will be some different other degrees as well, but here my message is actually whatever you do, you have some secured or some defined some opportunities. Okay, some defined opportunities, because you are doing your first degree. Once graduated, you are entitled to something. Okay, you have some certain values and skills and abilities. Okay, so you should plan to do these degree programs at your very best, giving maximum effort. You have to put your great effort to earn these degrees. It's not like you are registered for the degree. Now you can, after 4 years, you will receive the degree and you will get the job. Okay, that's not like that. You have to invest so much time to earn a degree. That is called earning a degree. It's not obtaining a degree. That's the degree. You should earn the degree. Okay, you should spend so much time to to earn the degree. Okay, actually you will have probably one credit subject that will be that you take 2 credit subject. 2 credit subject, 30 hours lecturer student contact hours, but you have another 70 hours to get that subject into that standard. Okay, you have 100 notional hours to gain that 2 credit. Okay, so you know the point. You will spend time. You will spend 30 hours time with lecturer, but you have to spend another 70 hours to get that credit. you multiply how many subjects, and then how many hours you have to spend, I mean, how many hours you have to spend additionally to gain credit. Okay, so the point here is you have to earn the degree. Okay, you have to spend so much time in your academic work. Okay, you have to do other works as well, but mainly you have to focus in your degree. Okay, you will have different different pathways. Okay, you will have different pathways, but you can actually select one pathway that would be clear to you, and based on your seniors' experience, your teachers' experience, and probably with your skills and your abilities, you can actually define your career path. Okay, so I think now also some of you have really good understanding about your future. Probably some of you have already designed or decided your career path. Anyway, once you are here, the university professors, you can talk with us and your career advisors, and then you can actually plan your you can set a clear path. Okay. Yeah. The next thing I want to talk what is career planning. Okay, career planning, as Tirana said, Tirana is not a professional counselor, but I'm also not a professional counselor. There are well-trained, accredited counselors here. Okay, I will give you. I think I have a slide to show the university setup, the career planning and counseling, the structure here. But what I actually want to say. The career planning is you should plan your career. That is the path or the progress through life. Okay, the path or progress through life. So you will see these components. You should know your values. Okay, then you should learn about yourself, and then you should identify your skills, and you should research your career options. You will have a number of career options or pathways as shown here. Okay, and you should, it's good, or it's always good to find a defined path. Okay, sometimes you will change your path when you are moving, but if you can actually plan well in advance, that would be I think ideal, or that will give some added advantages into your life. Okay, so what I did actually when I was at my final year of my degree, undergraduate degree, I decided I should do masters, and I should become a researcher. Okay, that was my goal when I reached to my final year. Okay, probably some of my colleagues at my BSc time, they decided, oh, they will join to the industry. Tirana was one of them. Tirana clearly decided he will not engage with academic field like universities and so on, but he decided to join to the industry. Okay, so anyway, it's always good to decide in advance, then you can plan your career pathway. That's what the point here. Research options. Okay, research career options. You can seek the options in your university time. You have 3 years, 4 years to research these career options. Okay, and with the current knowledge, I mean the internet access and access to other universities, other international universities, I think most of you have set your goals. Okay, you should know your destination. Okay, so please pay attention into that point. You should research career options, and you better decide them. It can be changed in the middle of the path, but anyway, you can actually develop yourself. Okay, then link your major and your career link your major and career. So you can actually, understand the point I am actually saying. Anyway, these are the slide shows the how I understood the career planning. Okay, then this slide shows the career planning components, major components. You should understand, you should estimate. Okay, you should quantify your abilities. Okay, your abilities, self-analysis. Okay, probably you will have some analytical thinking ability. You will probably have some research skills maybe at this stage also. Okay, probably you have developed that skill from the from your schooling time. Okay, anyway, self-analysis is very important. And then analysis of an opportunity. Okay, analysis of an opportunity. Okay, probably you decide, as I mentioned, you decide, or you become a researcher. Okay, in the future, you should plan better. If you can plan 5 years, maybe 10 years time, and then you have a really good understanding the pathway. Okay, and then setting of a goal. Okay, setting of a goal or a few goals. Okay, so that will give a clear path again. Okay, some strategic pathway, because you have some goals. Okay, you had a goal to enter the university. Okay, probably you miss, some of you missed the chance to become medical doctors here. Okay, biology students here, they wanted to become doctors. Okay, some students, mathematics students, they wanted to become engineers or to go to Marathi University. You missed the chance, but don't worry about that. Okay, missing chance, that's possible. I also miss chance, but then I got this opportunity to become a university, undergraduate university at Sabaragam University. Then I did it well, and then now I'm a lecturer here. Okay, so anyway, you got a really good, excellent opportunity. Now you better set new goals. Okay, new goals. Okay, then you have a clear plan, a strategic plan to reach your success. Okay, that's the third component I understood. And the final one, generation of a strategic and employment action plan. Yeah, that actually you can, I link the number 3 and number 4 components together, action plan. Okay, you do not need to tell your action plan, everyone. Okay, you keep it in your mind. You keep it in your mind, and whenever you start your day, you remember you have an action plan. Okay, you have a number of courses to follow. Okay, each semester you have a number of courses to you have to face the examinations after each semester, probably 8 subjects, 10 subjects. That is also you are in an action plan anyway. You are in an action plan anyway. Okay, so you have to manage all these things. I manage all these things very well. Then I could complete my degree, and then start my next degree, and after the next degree, likewise, I mobilized in my strategic plan. Okay, so here is very important message. You are unique. Okay, you are unique. You should understand everyone here is unique. You should be inspired with your skills, your values and all. You do not need to copy anyone. Okay, you do not to copy me, or you do not to copy Tirina. Okay, you are unique. Okay, you should not need to copy any other lecturer or Bill Gates, or you can actually get something from them, because we are quite successful people. That's why we are talking in front of you. That's why Tirina is successful. That's why he talks in front of you. Okay, Bill Gates, they are internationally renowned experts or inventors, and they have really big profile. Okay, So you can gain something from us or successful people, and then you should be inspired, and then you should, you should plan your path. Okay, so that's what I always mention. You are unique. Okay, you are unique, and you should decide your path. Okay, that's what we are just supporting you to develop your success. You build your success story, and yeah, what are your strengths? Okay, you better have this type of slide. Okay, you can prepare 4 columns. Okay, I have prepared 4 columns here: skills, talents, values, and interest. See my skills. Now my skills are handling analytical instruments or teamwork. I have really good ability to do some teamwork. Good teamwork. Okay, teamwork spirit. It's not, you should develop that skill in the university. I imagine here a lot of students have that that skill, but I understand some will not have, but still you can develop, because you will be here with a lot of students, different degree programs, okay, different years, and they will have different values, different thinking patterns. You can develop your teamwork ability here. Okay, so here, as I mentioned, Tiruna had a really good teamwork ability. That's why he was the president. Okay, and then my career here, I was a faculty union secretary, and then after coming to Belihulloya, I was the main union president, and last year I was the president of the University Teachers Association. Those reflect some values of mine. Okay, and handling analytical instruments. Yes, I learned a number of analytical instruments when I was in the university. At that time, we didn't have much, instruments, but we have plenty of high-tech instruments in the university now. Okay, so when I was studying, we didn't have this type of the instruments. What you can see behind me, there is a inductive coupled plasma mass spectrophotometer. So we didn't have that instrument in the university. Now we have those high-tech instruments, multi-million rupee worth instruments. Okay, so anyway, you can gain such experience. Don't worry about the departments. You take food science, physical science and technology, or sports sciences. We are largely equipped with numerous high-tech, high-end equipment, so you can actually develop your analytical instruments ability with our resources. Okay, the talent. What are my talents? Actually, I'm a good researcher. Okay, I have gained a couple of awards here, and I like teaching. So I engage students. I always share my experience with them. Okay, so I use different modes of teaching methods to deliver my message to them. Anyway, these are my talents and the values. Okay, as I mentioned to you before, I have a really good strength, or I have a really good feeling about I should stand for justice. Okay, I'm not only teaching in the universities or doing research. Whenever I feel like this is not going in the right way according to my feeling, I talk about it. And I convey my message. Okay, I stand for justice. That's why I became the president of the students' union, the main student union, and also the president of the teachers association here, Samparaka University Teachers Association. So because I talk about the rights. That's why I did my diploma in human rights at Peradeniya University. It was a nice time. I had a nice time at Peradeniya University. Professor Navaratna Bandara, he was my supervisor. He's an eminent scholar. You know, it's one of my values. Okay, I always like to highlight this value. Okay, so see, this photo you can see in the right side, captured during the struggle we had in the country last year. Okay, this image appeared Financial Times. You know, Financial Times is a international renowned magazine. This appeared, throughout the world, the financial magazine. No, I was very famous. And my supervisors back in Australia and some colleagues in US, New Zealand, and they actually, emailed me, what you are doing here in Sri Lanka. After doing PhD, are you doing postdoc or are you doing something else? See, I was very famous at the time anyway. Now also I'm famous in some magazine, in some newspapers and some news channels because I was, heavily engaged in some, tax issue related struggle in Sri Lanka. Anyway, I stand for justice. Whenever something goes wrong, I stand for justice. That's one of my values. Okay, the interests. What are the interests I have? Reading. I was a good reader. Then, because of reading that interest, I could write a number of articles to Vidusara, to some magazines in Australia, Lankadeep, and when I was at Muttala, the faculty, I wrote some, we call Nisadas to the notice board, the student union notice board. We had some couple of notice board there. We can show our, poems, our letters, and different things. Tirina did a nice sketching. I still remember how he displayed some nice drawings in that notice board. Those were dedicated for to develop our aesthetic activities, okay, art related activities. It's really good. Anyway. Whenever you read a lot, you can write. Okay, that's my message. You better become a reader, good reader. We have a really good library here. Nice staff, very friendly staff. They will narrate you how to utilize them and how to develop, how to use them to develop your career. And there are a number of world reputed journals and some online resources, some CDs and MP3, the different players, and so many opportunities here. So many opportunities. Please utilize them. Okay, and I have a good. One of my hobbies is photography. Okay, whenever I go to the field, I take photographs, and not only taking photographs, I actually direct them or I submit them to different competitions. Okay, I won a national award in photography, and I got an award from the president, actually the Minister of Environment at that time, Mr. Maithripala Sirisena, with the cash prize in 2007, I can remember. Anyway, always try to get something, and try to engage with something useful, and try to market yourself. It's not always marketing, but get the chances to apply different competitions, and there are so many competitions in the universities. As a university student, you are entitled to apply different competitions. Can I apply such competitions now? Now I can't apply that competition. Now the time, gone. But you have 4 years time to apply those competitions and, get something appear. You can see my CV. You will see awarded from the national competition, environmental competition, 2007, and won a gold medal. Okay, so you can include that statement in your CV. That will give a really good value. You can't imagine the value. Probably the interview panel will not ask about your degree program. They will repeatedly ask that award. Here, actually at the university, my interview, the panel members, they are professors. They ask a lot of about my diploma. I had PhD and MPhil. They are repeatedly asking question about my diploma. Why you did this one? How you related this one with your first degree and MPhil? They're asking different things. With that. My point here, please understand these 4 years. Try to invest the time in very good way. I mean, very beneficial way. That's the idea. Okay. So then I have a number of photos to show, but these are some recent development of my career success. Last year, I was become the junior researcher of the Sabaragamu University. Okay, I got the gold medal here. You can see Vice Chancellor sir is appearing, and he was very happy about my achievement because he was the dean when he was recruiting me to the faculty at the university, and it's a really memorable occasion to him as well. And the last year, I was become the most cited researcher of the year 2022 of Sabaragamu University. And then I again got a certificate from the Vice Chancellor, sir. And see, now you can see my progression. Okay, my progression. So here, the faculty, in my BSc time, I did all the extracurricular activities. I was a member of different sport games. Like I was member to the basketball team, and we won provincial games. I have a medal, and I was a member to different sports like volleyball, LA, and then I was a member to street drama, and Tilina myself, and we actually developed a street drama team at Buttala. Once I joined, I understood I can't, continue with the drama thing because I didn't have that ability. Okay, then I understood that I don't have that ability. Okay, so better to understand these things. Okay, then I was a member to debate team. Faculty debate team, and then we came all the way from Buttala to here, and then we competed with other faculties. Still I can remember that time. Yeah, anyway, so many opportunities, and please take the message. Although I did all the extracurricular things, I did my degree. I was able to get a class, and then enter to the next level, and then I'm also gradually, I'm also like you. Okay, I'm also developing, and still, I am in my career pathway. I have some other goals to reach. I will definitely reach that goals. Not sure what will happen because this is an uncertainty world, but when you have some certain goals, the goals will direct you. Goals will protect you. Okay, goals will narrate you. Okay, so I am in the right track. I insist you to become or plan yourself as I mentioned before. Okay, these are my achievements. The thing here is, it's not only getting the awards. You will become a famous person. Okay. 2 weeks ago, we had a meeting. We had a meeting with the minister, 2 ministers, with a really big audience. I mean, a number of professors and some our colleagues attended that one with two ministers, UGC chairman sir and vice chairperson sir, and some of high rank administrative officers were in that meeting, including Minister of Education and Higher Education Minister. Suddenly, the minister, he pointed out me, and he mentioned the state minister, Dr. Raghavan, Suren Raghavan. He mentioned, you are the most cited researcher of the year. Congratulations. Okay, he suddenly, he pointed out me, and said that a statement. Okay, that means he actually looked at about my profile, and once he looked at my profile, he noted all these things, and those things will give you some certain values. Okay, I'm not promoting myself. I'm saying, you take message. You have the ability. You have the potential to become like me. Okay, I'm not pointing out the industry because I'm not that much engaged with the industry like Thilina. Thilina has not, he has all the abilities and experience with the industry. I have the experience with the academic sector. You can actually talk with me, some other your panel of your teacher, the teams. Okay, you can find a number of the resource persons you can talk every time. Okay, you can contact Tirina and some other experts. You can develop your profiles. Okay, that's the message here. And then these are some of examples of my writing. Okay, so I did research, and same time I wrote these research to Vidhu Sara and some Lankadeep and some international magazines. Except for my point here is, generally we are writing journal articles. That's what you can become best researchers and most cited researchers. These are a part to them. Okay, writing. Okay, please try to write and publish in local journals and magazines, and you can add them in your CVs. Okay, that's very important. Then next, okay, here, sorry, okay, so these are some international journals or magazines I wrote about my research. Okay, and here at the university you have so many opportunities, as I highlighted you. You have different conferences, different magazines. For each department you can find different magazines and all, and you can actually utilize these to showcase yourself. Okay, and then different societies, SNRS for natural resource students, and PST, they have STS, Society for Technological Studies, and sports sciences, they have a different one, and SubStar for food science and technology students. Okay, so many opportunities to develop your careers. Okay, this one different clubs. This one, Zero Plastic Club in the university. Okay, I'm here. You can see I'm appearing here. I'm the advisor for that for this Zero Plastic that group. Okay, there are a lot of activities. It's not only doing activities. You can actually see different flyers they have made, and for making a flyer, you will learn something. Probably this year, one of you will prepare the flyer. Next year, another one can prepare a flyer. Okay, that is a really good skill, making flyers and slides, and doing. Probably you can take opportunity to introduce these objectives of these type of tasks. You probably will need to talk in front of media. Maybe you have to operate a Facebook Live or YouTube Live video. Okay, you will learn a lot of things while you are doing these things. You can develop career whenever you engage with these activities. Okay, and then okay, sorry. Yeah, see, these are really good resource persons you have as career guidance unit team. You see Professor Karinga Kotsattage, he's a director of the career guidance units in the university. He received an award last time during the university day. He was become the highest grant awarded researcher in the university, to entire university. See, you can talk with him about that thing. Okay, please go ahead with that background understanding. He's an eminent researcher here. And Dr. Sanjay Otalava from Sports Sciences and Physical Education Department. He's a faculty coordinator. Okay, and we have career advisors, advisor Mr. Deepal. Okay, he's a professionally trained career advisor. You can get knowledge from them. And these are the highlights of career guidance unit. I will rush now because I have to attend the convocation. They are organizing different activities. Please visit the website, look at what they have done, the career guidance unit, and then get the benefit. Okay, familiar with the activities. Okay, and these are some of activities we did last year. Virtual career fair. There, those things will be very useful at your third year or final year time. Okay, you will see opportunities around you. Tirina-like resource persons will talk in front of you. They will showcase the avenues you have. Okay, so you have time. Okay, you have a really good time. See, these were some talks we had. The resource person. I will share my slides with you if you want. Actually, Swintech, some of you will like to join Sri Lanka Institute of Nanotechnology. Okay, we invite different resource persons from different organizations in the country and internationally as well. So you can get some good experience. Okay, and then see, you can understand the places you can engage in the future. Okay, so different organizations. Okay, so you can have the dialogue with them during that time. Virtual career fair. Please engage with them. Please talk with them. Don't behave like you behaved today in the morning. I mean, when you had the talk with Tirina. Okay, only one girl, I think, raised a question. Okay, please, you should have raised 10 questions. Okay, don't use only chat box. Okay, don't use only chat box. Please raise a question. Then that resource person will remember you. Okay, you can start the dialogue with the resource person. Sir, I asked that question during that session. That's a really good starting point to start the dialogue. Or if you don't like to, if you are a bit, struggling to raise a question in front of audience, it's okay to use the chat box, but I highlight you to talk. I talk a lot during my BSc time. That's why still I'm talking a lot. And that's why I got a lot of opportunities. Okay, when you talk, you can show your view. Okay, you can give you can convey your message. So without conveying, how you can market yourself? Okay, you please understand this point. අර කතාවක් තියෙන්නේ මේ රුව ඇති දුවයි කට ඇති පුතයි එහෙම කතාවක් එහෙම නැහැ. Okay, ඒවා ඒ කාලේ ගියා. Okay, you please understand this point. You have to talk wisely. Okay, wisely, very important. Wisely, you should understand this important point. Okay, this is very important. These are the mock interviews we had last year, actually 2 years ago. see, still Mr. Tilna, actually Tilna was a resource person to that event. Okay, number of colleagues, our staff members attended that one, and number of students, finally a student gain really good understanding about their future opportunities and all. Okay, and these we invented or we introduced number of different activities. This is rule breaker sessions. Rule breakers. They did this breaking, and then they become the career success. So you can see Dinky from sports sciences, Isuru from CIS department at the time, Department of Computing and Information Technology. They were attached to faculty of applied sciences. Anyway, sketch recognition, this Avishka from PST department. Okay. Anyway, Ruanti did her final year research with me. Now she is doing MSc, full scholarship. She got a full scholarship in one of best universities in Australia. She did her project at Sri Lanka Institute of Nanotechnology. Anyway, she was a rule breaker. Okay, she talked in front of undergraduates last year. Okay. Anyway, we have a lot of activities for you. Okay. This is another really good achievement we delivered to you. Actually, we organized a startup pitch competition last year. You know this person, Dr. What's his name? Chanda Madam? I forgot his name. Doctor. Can someone identify this person? Dr. Harsha Subhasinghe. Okay, Dr. Harsha Subhasinghe. He's I think most inspiring inventor in Sri Lanka. He created the Vega car, and also he's the director, founder of the CodeGen International, and the place where they are operating their business at Maradana, Trace City. He's the introducer that ChargeNet network throughout the Sri Lanka, throughout the country. Electric car charging stations. He arrived to university, and the Start Pitch competition award winners. They received awards. Actually, this is the third place, 10,000 rupees. Runner-up, second runner-up. First place received 25,000 with this kind of big certificate and the other certificate as well. And first place went to sports sciences. That student, I can't remember her name. Anyway, see the value you can achieve or you can add to your profile. Okay, so we have designed all these activities for you to develop your career success. Okay. So please utilize them again and again. I'm highlighting this. Please utilize your time wisely. Okay. Then we are having this ICSUSL 2023 International Conference in Sabaragamuwa Institute of Sri Lanka. So probably you as first year students, I don't know how you can incorporate. Probably you can attend some lectures, sessions there, online sessions. Please attend them. And once you are in the university, you can attend as volunteers, and you can do a lot of things. Okay, so it's an international conference of Sabaragamuwa Institute of Sri Lanka. And then okay, so my take home messages. Okay, again, you are in safe destination. I should highlight you are in a safe destination. Take examples, myself, Tilinen. Okay, So we developed our career in the university. I always give a really good, recognition to my first university. I got my first degree here. Although I visited a number of universities to get some qualifications in my career. Actually, I have a habit of going to universities, different universities when I abroad. I have traveled around 10 or 11 countries so far. Once I visited different country, I visit different universities. Although I visited some eminent universities internationally, my first priority is to my first university, Sabaragamu University here. Okay, that means you are safe destination to, make your career path success. You understand it, please. And then you have to define your goals. You identify your goal, and you should plan your future. Okay, I talk about that. And be inspired. Do not copy others. Be unique in yourself. Okay, develop multidisciplinary research, academic culture with the not five departments, now 4 departments in the faculty, and several departments in the university. Okay, you better talk with other departments as well. Okay, it can be a department in the social science and languages faculty. Okay, it can be colleagues from management faculty, geomatics faculty. The multidisciplinary environment here. Please understand it. I understood it, and I utilized that time understanding and getting benefits with the actually we had 5 faculties at that time. Now we have 8 faculties. The development here. It's a developing university. It's a young university with 27 years age. Okay. Someone's 27 years means a person is the most energetic time. We are at Sabaragamu University in the most energetic time now. Okay, please understand it. Okay. And then finally, time flies. Use time wisely. I highlight this point. You have so many opportunities to develop your career. Okay, please utilize the time. And once you have utilized the time, you will receive today like day. Today, the faculty graduation day. Okay, I captured this one from one of the last, actually 2 years ago. This is student. Is one of my students. He received the award of Student of the Year award. Okay, Student of the Year award he received. He is a demonstrator. Actually, he's a university lecturer now. See his progression. Okay, and please take this time. And there are so many awards here or schemes here. You can showcase your self once you utilize your time effectively, fruitfully here. Okay, those are my message. Probably I should leave now, Chandrika madam, because I have to attend the convocation. Maybe Q&A time. Is there any burning questions? I will give you 2 minutes. Okay, do you have any burning questions before leaving? Was it useful? It looks like it's not useful.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Thanks so much. You raised your voice. Others, boys?
Yes, sir. It's a very useful.
Okay, very good. Then any burning questions? Come on. 1. Okay, probably you are thinking about me. Oh, sir needs to go and attend the convocation, so we do not disturb him and then leave. Okay, I imagine you had that kind of feeling, so I don't worry. But next time, please take my message. You will have separate Q&A sessions in any of your sessions. I mean, this type of webinars and all. Please utilize this time. Okay, prepare for that. Prepare in advance to raise a question in this type of sessions. That is important. Okay, with that, I conclude my talk. Over to you, Chandrika madam, I think, or Dinesha. Are you there?
Yeah, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jacinta, for accepting our invitation with your busy schedule. This session was actually very informative session. Hope students got a clear idea on career exploration and career guidance procedures conducted in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. Again, thank you very much, Mr. Tirina and Dr. Jacinta, for your participation. This is the end of the morning session. Now we wind up the session. Have a nice day for everyone.